missing out. Was this show?
Hello, my name's Sandra Moone. I'm a professional wrestler here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I love wrestling, you love wrestling, and we love wrestling.
Welcome to Women on Wednesday.
I appreciate you.
Today, I'm trading, and today we have somebody in the Vegas area. I've seen her wrestle a few places, and every time I see her wrestle, I say, I need to see some more Sandra Moone.
Thank
Today,
you.
this weekend, we are going to see some more Sandra Moone, and our guest today, as I've said 2 times already, is Miss Sandra Moone. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming on. So before we get into it, the first question I always ask is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Oh, perfect. I love wrestling. I started watching when I was 15. I only went to live events. That's where I sort of first fell in love with it. They were like these TV tapings from this random promotion, and I just loved the larger than life characters and personalities and just the different ways people express themselves. And so after that, I just kind of kept going to a lot of live shows. I started watching it on TV a little bit, and then I started training when I was 15 at Future Stars of Wrestling.
How have you been wrestling now?
Oh, I've been wrestling for 5, almost 6 years in November.
Okay. And you said you started at 15?
Yes.
So we talked to a few people that are still in school and training and everything. How was that for you to wrestle and be in school at the same time?
Definitely preferred one over the other. Definitely liked wrestling a lot more. Thankfully, when I was training, it was only on the weekends because I started out in a juniors class, so it was only on the weekends. And when I moved up when I was 16 to like an adult class, so that was during the week. Definitely a lot harder to manage. I was never good at school, so I obviously just preferred focusing on wrestling over homework. But once I graduated, it made everything super easy. You could definitely just go full force into wrestling as opposed to worrying about your social life with school and everything.
Okay. So the main reason you're here, Naptown All Pro, um, April 30th, Tinley Academy, the curb gun violence on the Far East Side, with the Far East Side Community Center in the neighborhood that you basically say I grew up in. You're gonna be facing the only person in the card who is actually from Naptown.
Oh, really?
And so Sandra, don't hate me on this. When I talked to J Rose and we was going through the card, and he was like, I know Alice Crowley. She went to Warren Central, which is like 10 minutes away from me. And he was like, she's the only person from Indianapolis. And I was like, we sponsoring that match.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, if Alice loses, then we gonna ride in the building. But I've seen you wrestle a lot of times, so it's not a small feat for Miss Alice Crowley. So how do you feel about this match happening?
Honestly, I'm super excited, and I've known J Rose for a little over 2 years now, and it has just been. I get to listen to the lore of Indiana wrestling. I get to know the history and like all the stars kind of growing up there. And so when J Rose told me about Alice, I couldn't help but be super excited and just like super happy to face like one of like these upcoming stars. Like also started super young, um, like hard hitter. Like it's a dream match in the making. So it's like once I heard that, I'm like, all right, it's on. I'm bringing my all to it. I'm super excited to see what she has, and like she's just like many, like she has such a bright future, and it's only the beginning for her. So I'm glad I could be a part of this in her journey as well.
Is this is you all's first time wrestling, correct?
Yes, 100%. I've never met her before, so it would be our first time meeting, wrestling, all of that.
Okay. To stay on Naptown All Pro, I've seen some tweets, so I must ask you, what match besides yours are you looking forward to?
Oh, that is such a hard question. Um, I was looking forward to seeing Brian Keith wrestle Chase. I'm also, pitching for Adriel versus Chase. But I would say that I'm very excited to see Lazarus and Sean Kemp versus the Delinquents. I'm very big fan of Sean Kemp, one of my best friends, and Lazarus is my actual brother. So I think them facing the Delinquents is going to be a really fun match because Mikey Banker and Josh Fuller are just such big personalities. Like that match is going to just be nothing short of awesome.
2 p.m. wake up call, 8 p.m. blackout. Naptown All Pro. If you can't make it, $10 sponsor a seat. There will be ways to see it. If you're on the YouTube, J Rose did tell me I could go live, so we'll see. All
Perfect.
right. So Sandra, I have to ask you. You became one of the wrestlers that I like because you did this one thing to this wrestler, and it was literally after I've seen her. Me and Maserati always, every time I see her, we get into it for some reason. That's the homie, but it's like we got this, like Martin and Pam type relationship. We always going at each other. And you took the FSW championship from her, and I was actually in Vegas that weekend, so I was very hyped when that happened. How's it out there wrestling in Vegas? I lived out there for 6 months, but I never knew of a wrestling scene when I was out there at the time.
Oh, I love it. I started wrestling. I've been wrestling there since up to this year. We have so many like wrestling has just taken off. There's like numerous more promotions. There's me and my friends started our own promotion in Vegas called Graphouse. There's Pride Style versus. It's honestly only getting better and it's only getting bigger. And there's just so much more talent that sprouts out there and is being brought in. So it's honestly just on its way up to be such a dominant force as far as like a go-to state for wrestling. I'm sorry, I think your mic is muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. So speaking of which, it's like every weekend or every other weekend that I see you, it's like you're fighting.
Yes.
You're fighting any and everybody. So I have to ask: do you prefer intergender matches over women's matches?
See, that's a tough one. Honestly, I feel I prefer women's matches over intergender matches, but I still think that they're all very fun to me. But I love wrestling women. I love like getting to be a part of such an awesome community in wrestling and being able to represent such an underrepresented uh, kind of community. And like I think it goes to show that there's a lot of like milestones and things that women have done that sort of put themselves at the top for any promotion. So I think aside from just being a major draw, I think it gives me such a different experience and like it just makes me a lot happier. But that is nothing against intergender wrestling. I just think it's a form of unity that I think is a lot cooler. Like I was just at it was Lucha Libres and Laps in Denver, and it was an all woman show, and there's just like an unbeatable energy to it, and such different personalities and capabilities, and it honestly just like warmed my heart getting to be in a locker room full of such talented women and just all of us having a great time and putting together some really awesome stuff.
You might get the opportunity to do that more after we do the spotlight, but I'm not going to say that. Also, have to talk about this.
Perfect.
The Diamond Cut, GCW. This may be the only poster signed by everybody. Even AQA signed it when I saw it maybe a week. Heather Monroe did win you all's match.
She did.
But you were very impressive in that match with Heather Monroe. And you both have a history from Memphis Championship Wrestling and I believe maybe Hollywood Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, it would just be championship wrestling.
Okay, championship
from
wrestling.
Hollywood.
So, do you want another? Because she is the GCW champion at this point. I mean, I thought you had her when you a side gut wrench power bomb. I was like, oh, it's over for this. Would you want that rematch to get that championship from her?
Oh yeah, I would 100% love a rematch. Since I started wrestling, I've been wrestling against Heather Monroe at Future Stars of Wrestling. I've probably wrestled her more than 20 times, but it was only once she moved to Florida. I hadn't really seen her for a couple of years because then the pandemic. But like having gotten to wrestle her, I've leveled up so much, and I've only gotten so much more experience since then. So I think like the more I could wrestle her, and especially had an opportunity for the title, like that would just be a dream.
Okay. Word association. Well, it's not actually a word. I'm gonna say something. S4tp.
Yes.
So I literally just talked to Chase maybe about 2 hours ago, and he said he's beating 3 or 4 of y'all.
Chase?
That's what he told me. He said he's beating 3 out of 4 of y'all, and he plans to beat the 4th one at Naptown All Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just tell me about S4TP? Because when I'm in Florida and I'm in Texas, people have said your names to me. You should look at S4TP, check them out, see what they doing. S4TP, that's a group that we want to face. Can you just tell our audience how S4TP started?
Yeah, of course. So S4TP consists of me, Sandra, Adriel Noctis, Lazarus, and Jody himself. And it basically started when we went to Paradigm's No Hook tapings back in January of, I believe, 2020. Or 2021. I'm not too sure. It's been a while, but I think 2020. And ever since then, J Rose was like, we love you. You guys are all so amazing. Just like singing our praises, just like inducting us into like Night 4 Indie Crew. And we were all just in the car. We're like, man, like this is so amazing. Like the 4 of us just like all really doing it. And so, we decided, like, what if we just become a group? And what if we just get together, we travel together, we make our name together, and we just, become like a really dominating force in the independents. And that's where the birth of S4TP, Simps for the Business. Basically, we're just so in love with the business that doesn't really love us back, but we're still trying to get it. But ever since then, it's like we've been having so much fun with it, and we have gotten some really awesome opportunities, and just being able to be ourselves and do what we want, how we want to do it, without the pressures of us needing to feel or be a certain way or live up to anyone's expectations. But we have each other, so that's all we really need, and we're able to get to where we need to go with each other.
Who's the member of the group that you all have to be the most worried about when you're out?
As far as how, like, worried about how, like when we're out partying or when we're out wrestling.
Let's stick with wrestling.
Like, all of them are really dysfunctional. But with wrestling, I don't know. We had a match here, and I'm pretty sure that I was the one that beat everybody. So I would say they got to worry about me. But seeing as Chase Holiday wants to run his mouth saying that he beat us, he did beat 3 of the 4 of us. So I guess Adriel Noctis is going to have to be the one to put Chase out. So I would say that Adriel Noctis is going to be the one sticking up for us for right now.
Okay. Adriel, don't disappoint. Now, I also seen you at an event, and this is where I became a big fan. It was here in Indianapolis. It was at the county fairgrounds.
Oh, perfect.
And I don't know. I know I walked in, and it was just a big, huge scramble match. And
scramble?
Yes, that's what it was. So wherever I was sitting at, you were just beating someone up through the arena like I got some video from that day. I was like, wow, she is like really going in on these people, like no one to play with. Like I even believe you put someone in a trash can at a point. Um, those did you like the hardcore match? Because that was
You
all
know,
over the place.
yeah, it was unintentionally a hardcore match because of all the glass on the floor. But no, I loved it. It was honestly super fun. It was my first time, I'd say, like in a ring with Nick Wayne, and I think that was one of the key points I really liked about it. I got to work with Nick Wayne, a young prodigy, super awesome guy, and that's where me and him became really good friends. And I got to wrestle with Charlie and like a lot of other people. I'm trying to remember who else was in the match. It was Charlie, Nick
It was about
Wayne.
8 people.
Yeah, it was a lot, and I think like Bobby Flacco. So I love Bobby. Bobby's cool. Um, but like super fun match. Honestly, as hectic and crazy as it was, I think a lot of really cool memories came out of that night and that match, and like the whole experience as a whole. So I definitely would say that I enjoyed it.
So for people that don't know you, back in November, I believe, I'm an Impact Wrestling fan.
Mhm.
I saw you pop up on Impact Wrestling. Um,
Yes.
um, how was that experience at Impact?
You know, it was actually aside from the brutal beatdown by Masha, it was honestly such a cool experience. Like I've been like when Impact comes to Vegas, I've usually been like the one working ring crew. Like I've done like 2 or 3 tryouts from Impact. It's been a long time sort of coming and building up to that experience. So regardless of how it ended up, I really just had the time of my life. I've been working TV like Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and I think I've just been waiting for a moment to sort of like level up and take it up a step, just with Impact and hoping to at least make a mark and at least help build a name for myself. So I think getting to have that experience was so important. All like the wrestling aside, it was full of like a locker room of amazing people, and um, it was just a really cool time. And I think it was something that really jumped my career from kind of like level 2 to like a nice level 3 or 4. So definitely, I'm super grateful for it.
Level 3 or 4, level 5 and 6 coming real soon. If they don't
Definitely.
know, I'm just saying. Every time I see her, I'll be like, "Hey, you gotta see some more." Um, Let me go ahead and get this out the way. I got to turn to the side right quick. I always ask this to everybody come on the show. Sandra, the Rocker Stone Cold.
The Rock or Stone Cold? Definitely The Rock. I love The Rock.
Mm, we are on the road, people. To everyone keeping tally, we are now tied up. I, this is
Let's
gonna
go.
this is gonna go on raffle here in 3 weeks because Stone Cold been killing us. But the last 4 weeks we have got The Rock, the great one, and I am happy. Sandra Moone just moved up my list a little bit more. Now I do always ask this, just a new question that we've been doing. If you can describe your wrestling career as a movie, what movie would it be?
Oh man. You know, that is a great question. You know, I'm gonna go with if you have you ever seen A Knight's Tale by with Heath Ledger in it?
Yes, that's the yes. I've seen.
I'm gonna go with that one. And, you know, he starts off just doing his own thing, not really wanting it, just kind of seeing it and not really being super interested. But then, the more he does it, he just gets so much better and better. Then, sure enough, this guy becomes the best. He gets the girl. He gets to sort of live that while also just being so true to his nature. So honestly, and I'm a sucker for Heath Ledger, so I'm gonna go with Night.
I haven't seen Nice Tale in about 2 years, but it had a chokehold on me for like 3 or 4 years. Where
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies. Probably like top 3 for sure.
it, hmm, I've never ranked my movies, but it would be in the top 10 if I did, because yeah, I like that. Um, Now, who would play you as a character? You put the Nice Tale, but who would you have play yourself?
That is a good question. Selena Gomez. I needed someone with a little bit of like the ethnicity to her. I need a Mexican. I'm gonna go with her. And she's
Okay.
just so pretty. So we love Selena Gomez.
No issues here. Selena Gomez. I had to stop myself.
Not me, but if I have to
Okay,
pick
yeah.
something
I was like,
that
ooh,
blends in.
almost got me there. Got to ask, wrapping up here, like we always do. Sandra, you faced a lot of people out here. I've been looking it up and seeing it. It's a few more people I want to see you face than some more areas I want to see you in. But if you could pick 3 independent people that matches you could make happen, who would those 3 people be?
I definitely want to face Kylie Rae,
Mm,
Trish Adora,
mm,
and Effy.
mm.
Those are my top 3 people on my list. I need those to happen as far as like those bucket list wrestling. I feel like I'm able to step up to the plate. Kylie Rae, definitely want a bit more before I get to her because that is the ultimate dream match for me. But Trish Adora, Effy, I feel like I'm ready and I'm about to burn the house down with those ones.
Very interesting. Trish Adora is my friend, so I'll put that
Oh,
in
for
her ear.
real?
Yeah, I mean, when I go out, we talk to a lot of people. I can't actually say that because that's not supposed to be known. But yeah, I'll talk to Trish. um, see if we can make that happen. Yeah, we go. Mhm.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay, okay. Have you been to New York yet?
On accident, yes, I have been to New York. I was wrestling for Wrestlers Lab in New Jersey, and our flight got delayed because there was a huge snowstorm coming. So we were stuck in New Jersey for another day. So me and S4TV actually, we just decided, you know what, we're gonna take the train, then we're gonna take the subway, and we're gonna go to New York City in the middle of this little snowstorm. And then we did it, and it was honestly the coolest and so out of nowhere experience. So awesome. It's like never forget. That was really cool.
So you never wrestled in New York?
Unfortunately, no. Not yet, at least.
Not yet. You know who I'm looking
Exactly.
at? Make it happen. Um, make this happen, please. Um, there's certain people who watch these spotlights or listen to them, so I just give a little, and then I see stuff happen. I'll be like, "Oh, it's happening! I love it." Kylie Rae, Chicago. You said you need a little bit more before you take that match.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm trying to go super hard in that. So just definitely want that extra little that jump to it, but it'll be in no time. When the universe wants it, it'll send it to me.
Okay, okay. Can we talk about your WrestleMania weekend? Your WrestleMania week?
Yes.
Billy Starks.
Yes, I
Uh,
wrestled Billy Starks. That was I love the girl. I wrestled her one time at the No Hook tapings. I believe it was for No Hook, the first one. Uh,
see,
a killer. It was super fun, and then this time around, it was really cool that I got to be for like GCW, the LA Fights versus JCW. Um, she did come out on top, but honestly, like I could wrestle her tenfold over and over. She just has so much talent and she is so creative. It was honestly like a really really fun and cool match for me to have.
mm. you
And
was
then I got
also
to be in the clusterfuck for Joey. Yeah, for I'm sorry, Joey Janela's spring break, and that was super fun too. That one was crazy.
were you in there when it was all the women?
Yes. Uh
Um,
huh.
y'all just controlled the ring for about
Yeah,
four to
for
five
sure.
minutes.
You have to.
Okay. I was watching that because I was talking to Jazzy Yang. I was like, y'all just threw everybody out and just held it down for a good 5 minutes. I'd love to
Gotta
see
do
it.
what you gotta do.
Yes, yes. I, I've seen you in like 3 states except for well, I've seen you here also. So yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens on Saturday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very, very excited to be there and for such a great cause too.
Yes. Don't take it personal if you hear me boo.
I'll just keep my ears closed and pretend I didn't hear it.
Got to support Indianapolis. So,
100%.
I'm rooting for you to have a great showing. But I got PTSD about people losing in their home state. So, Alice Crawley show up. People listening to Alice Crawley will be coming soon. So, don't worry about that. We're going to do the whole Indianapolis thing. Last question, Sandra.
Yes.
I was watching this thing on YouTube with you in it. Did you enjoy doing the mukbang? Because I saw you doing a
Yes.
pizza mukbang.
I just like to eat. I like to eat, and I think it's funny just eating, and that's why it's always been my dream just to have a small little channel of me just eating for free all this food that I want, and that's that. That's the end of that sentence. You tell me you want to eat in front of a camera and make money while you're doing it?
It's funny because I had this conversation with another group like 2 months ago, and we just started looking it up, and it was like the top 10 people were making over like $100,000 just eating on YouTube. I'm
saying,
and at that point, we all left and got something that came back. I was like, well, I mean, if this works, but I just saw the video. I was like, are they about to do a mukbang before it even started? I was like, yeah, they're about to eat these pizzas. Oh, mukbang. I don't know. It just when you hear a word and then I'm coming across it, I'm doing some research. I'm like, mukbang. They really did a mukbang. Like, okay, she gets some more points. So, it's a beautiful thing. So Sandra, you'll be here in Indiana on Saturday. Freelance, Zelo, AAW, Chicago Style Wrestling. Put Sandra Moone on your list. She said
100%. Definitely trying to make it out there.
Give it about 3 months. She'll be ready for the person y'all have at those events. Kylie Rae. Yeah. Trish, I'm going to cut this clip for you. Trish, there's this young wrestler out of Las Vegas. Her name is Sandra Moone. I've seen her all over the country. Every time I see her, she's impressive. She wants to go one-on-one with you. You going to make the match happen, Trish, or you going to be... All right. Maria Kalinas, Women's Wrestling Army. Caller. You also be in the so I see you a little in the southern area. Some things that's going on. Do you have any? Don't take this the wrong way, but I do ask this: when you started wrestling, who's the first person to put you on your ass?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, just to knock you where you're like, whew, wait a minute. I mean,
let's see. That's a good one. I don't even know. I feel like that happens to me. I once got kicked so hard by Chris Bay. I was in a tag match with Chris Bay, and he throws those wild enziguris, and I think that was one of the first few times I'd ever just taken something, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. But I would say that one was definitely a trip. But I love Chris Bay. I think super awesome, super good, talented, everything. All love for him.
Y'all got a lot of talent in that Vegas area. If people don't know, but it's kind of quiet. Now that I'm sitting here and breaking down who all lives in Vegas, y'all could start because they always talk about Chicago versus Texas or New York versus Florida. Y'all can start your own thing because y'all did have a FSW versus GCW.
Yeah, I faced Alley Cats on that one.
Yes, it was GCW. Not gonna talk about that. Because Alley, who won the match?
Who do you think won the match?
I'm just asking. I'm asking.
I faced Alley Cats twice now, and she's won both of them.
We gotta get that back, Sandra.
I know. I'm climbing up in those ranks slowly but surely. I'm getting there.
Okay.
She's trying.
That's why I don't really say now. When I start thinking about the match, I'll be like, we shouldn't bring up that you didn't win, but you know, we there. It's all good. It's all good. We are there. Every time I see you, I'm like, man, she got that fire. It's something there. So I see big things for you. I was reading something in Vegas called you, if you're not the top person in Vegas, you're top three indie wrestlers. And I was like, well, you know, they're not wrong.
I know. I was number 1, then they moved me down to 3, and I was like, what are you even talking about?
Who's above you?
So I was number 1 a few months ago, but now it's Jay Vidal and Papa Yase that are ahead of me. So I understand. You gotta keep it around, keep it humble. But you just know.
But the top women's athlete there, but Jay Vidal, hey, he go crazy.
He does go crazy.
I've been seeing him doing stuff, but he's going crazy out here. Love to see it. So, this is our. Got to put you over here right quick. This is what we call our put yourself over moment. This is where you let the people know your social media, any ways they can support you. Tell them about your new jersey you got out there. Anything you got coming up, we just want you to put yourself over.
Perfect. Thank you so much. If you can follow me on Instagram at Sandra_Moone, or if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Sandra Moone Pie, an E at the end of all the moons. And if you want to buy any merch from me, I do have a collection with stiffblade.com. Super sick jerseys, super sick merch, and if anything, they always have some really awesome merch for any part of the Stiff Blade team. But aside from that, I'll be in that town this Saturday, and then after that, I'll be at East Los Luchas in East LA. But I hope to just see you around, and thank you for all your support.
No problem. We support the good ones, people. I'm just saying, y'all seen the lineup, so y'all gonna know Sandra Moone. Sandra, again, thank you for giving us this time. Like, I got excited. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I've been seeing her. When I was at GCW, they was like, you should go back there and say something to her. I was like, y'all know I don't go into the back because that kind of ruins it for me. They was like, go in the back. I was like, nah, I'm not going back there. But glad to have this combo. We'll get a picture with you all on Saturday.
Yes, please.
Like, again, thank you for coming on the show. Can't wait to see you. Will you be selling merch on Saturday?
I will be selling merch. I don't have any shirts at the moment. I just sold out at my last 2 shows, but I'll have 8x10s, pins, buttons, stickers, all of that good stuff. I'm sorry, bestie. I feel like I'm letting you down.
I've been on my t-shirt thing, you know, but I gave the website. But yeah, I just been collecting t-shirts from different people. I got too many shirts. I got about 115 wrestling shirts.
Oh man, we love to see that.
I haven't worn any of them.
Oh.
I don't know. I just need some.
The WWE $35 a shirt just to not wear them.
Oh, now those shirts you got to get them when they got the sales going on.
For sure.
But then some of them I still haven't even taken out the package, so I'm like, so sad. But I stopped like a year ago buying shirts, so all the shirts that I have are from a year ago and before, and I'll be wanting to support people. Then I'm like, man, you sponsored this, quit buying t-shirts. And you know, my financial advisor talks to me like, hey, you getting out of hand. I'm like, you right, but I can't stop it. So no t-shirts will be good, but I'll make it an 8x10. We'll see.
Perfect. Well, I'll have whatever you need.
All right. Sandra, again, thank you. Guys, if you're listening on the video on the YouTube, you can go in the description, click all her links and go to the podcast version, any podcast platform. If you're on the podcast platform, go up to the YouTube, watch it, see Sandra Moone, see who she is. Make sure you know her face when you see her come in your area or on TV, because it's some things that's about to happen on the West Coast, and she probably will be on those things. I don't know. Just saying.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right. But I'm Trady, and like I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet. For Coach love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we. You're not here, you missing out. This show.